Today I'm going to go over how to edit your photos. First, I'll go over a few different tools you'll want to know how to use. Second, I'm going to go over how to create layers. And then last, I'm going to show you how to edit your image in general to have different levels of dark and light, have different hues and other adjustments that might be helpful. So first off, how to edit your photos using some of these tools on the left panel. So right over here there's a cropping tool, which I would be using to crop my image. I'll go ahead and crop the size that I want right there, press enter. The next thing I want to show you is the stamp tool. So I'm going to hit clone stamp tool. What that does is it allows me to select one area of the image and move it to another. So if I select right here by pressing Option, click my mouse button, then I let go of the Option button, then I move my mouse over, I'm taking what's on the right and moving it to the left side. I don't really want to move that part of the rock over here, so I'm going to press Command Z to undo. If I had to undo multiple things, I'd press Command Option Z. Now there's a little spot right here I want to get rid of, so I'm going to press down Alt or Option, click to the side of it, then I'm going to move my mouse over that little blemish, and I'm taking that nice clean area on the right, moving it to the spot on the left, basically covering it up and making it so it's not noticeable. There's another little spot right here. A shortcut that might be helpful is pressing Z. I can zoom in by clicking with my mouse. Oh, look at that ugly spot. Now I'm going to go back to my stamp tool. Shortcut is pressing S. I don't want quite that big of a stamp, so I'm going to press the left bracket to shrink the size of my brush. Now I'm going to press Option to select the area right here. Click, let go of Option, move over that little blemish, and then it looks as if it was never there. Alright, so now to zoom out, I can either press Z, hold down the Alt button. Notice the cursor changes from a plus to a minus, and then I can zoom out like that. Another way I like to move around my photo is pressing H, and I can just click and drag to move around. If I wanted to zoom out, press and hold down H, click my screen. I can move to a certain area, say right there, and then focus just there. Instead, I'm going to press Z, minus button to zoom out. A little bit too much. Alright, so now I've got a good cropped image free of blemishes from what I can see. So now that we've gone over those tools, I'm going to go over layers. First off, to create a new layer, sometimes you will have an image that has this locked button. To unlock it, you can either click up here, or I can click the lock button right there. So this is my first layer. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer by right-clicking it, go up to Duplicate Layer. I'm going to decide, yeah, that's a fine name for my second layer. So now I have two layers. If I were to hide my bottom layer, and then on this top layer erase, so I'm going to press E for erase, then I can see this grid underneath it. If I want to visually see what's underneath this layer, notice it was the copy of that rock layer. So here's top layer, bottom layer showing through. We don't want to do that. We don't want to mess up that first layer, so I'm going to hit Command Option Z as many times as I need to go back to the original. Now that I've got that image, I've got two layers. I want to adjust just one part of this image. I'm going to select the bottom layer. Then I'm going to go ahead and hide the top layer. I'm going to go up to Image, and there's Adjustments. I could change levels, curves, exposure, etc. First thing I want to do is alter the levels. So I'm going to go ahead and move this button. That's just making my darks start earlier, my darks darker. And then I'm going to go to my lights, make my lights lighter. That looks good to me, and press OK. So that was levels. If I were to show what's on top, here's the before, here's the after. Now I want to do some more editing to this layer, but before I do, I want to keep just this good layer, so I'm going to go ahead and right click that top layer, delete it, so yes, then I'm going to go to this new layer, this nice one. I'm going to duplicate that layer because now I want to just duplicate what's the best. Alright, so I've got my two layers. I'm going to look at this bottom layer, make sure I select it by clicking there. Then I want to change the color of this rock. I'm just focused on the rock on the right. I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments. Now I'm going to go to Hue. Let's just change the color of this rock. Oops. So I'm going to just move the hue around. You know, I like that greenish. Yeah, greenish yellow, I like that. Then I could improve the saturation. Now, I could go way crazy, but I don't want it to be way crazy, and I don't want it to be black and white, but I do want it to be slightly increased saturation because it's supposed to kind of look fake. At least I want it to. So I go to about 20, click OK, so now it's adjusted. If I go to the top layer, I can't see what's underneath it, so I press E again, or to the left side I could go to the erase button right here. Go to my erase tool. Now I have a couple options. I can erase it with a soft edge, or I can erase it with a hard edge. So let me go ahead and go to my top layer so I can erase it. I'm doing it with a soft edge. That way I don't change too much besides the rock. If you were to just not see that bottom layer, you can see where I've erased. So I erased all of that. So now peeking through is my edited rock layer. I like it, but I want to do more with it. So I'm going to take that second layer, duplicate it again. Right? So now, just looking at this bottom layer, I'm going to adjust the color on this left rock because I'm not going to worry about this right side because it's already on the second layer. So I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, go back to Hue and Saturation. Since this is kind of like a green, I think I'm going to do the left side a red-ish color. Let's see. Once I get like kind of a, got to go a little slower. Ooh, I like that right there. And then, do I want it? I'll up the saturation just a little bit. Click OK. So now, you can't see that layer right now because it's underneath these first two, but I want to erase what is in front of that rock. So I've got to go to my first layer, press E, erase everything that's there. You notice it's getting green. It's because it's showing that second layer. Now I'm going to go down to my second layer and erase what's in front of there. Awesome. So I've gone from my second layer all the way down to my third layer. So we've got my first layer, second, third, or vice versa, however you want to describe it. So now I've got my two rocks. I want to flatten this image because it's finalized. It looks exactly the way I want. I can right click above these layers and then go to flatten image and click that. What that does is it combines all of those edits into one solid image. I can unlock it if I wanted to do some more editing. Another side note, if you didn't want to go to file or image adjustments and alter things here, you can also do it in this panel right over here. Brightness, contrast, levels like what we did earlier. Let's see, we've got different filters, a whole bunch of stuff you can do over here. Hue and saturation again. And if you don't like that there, you just press this double arrow and then it's opened up. Once you're finished, press Command, Shift, S, or you can go to File and Save As. change the format to a JPEG, change the name. I don't know if I spelled that correctly. And I want to save it to my desktop. Then I'll press save. High quality, you can change that if you want. Click OK. And then now, if I'm not going to save any more of it, not save that one. But now if I want to open that up, it's on my desktop. Double click it, there's my image.